I am also really proud of like, you know, our mantra that kind of naturally like evolved of like, I love you no matter what, of like, and that was code for like, we both know that this is not going great right now. And guess what? If we go home today, like we're going to make out at the airport, you know, like,
exactly.
and it's
I
going to be
can't.
great. Like,
just, you know, the way they look at each other, Brice, like it's just, this is like goals.
Hit, stop, hit, stop, it's a hit, stop, hit, stop, it's a hit, stop, hit, stop, it's a hit, stop, hit, stop.
And welcome back. Another week on the race, another Brooke and Brice checkpoint. I'm super excited to be here with my amazing, my talented, the lineage of a chicken leg, the one, the only, the winner of Amazing Race, Miss Brooke Camhi. How are you?
It sounds like I'm birthed from chickens. Okay, I'm great. That's hilarious.
What came first?
The chicken or Brooke?
I know I'm old, but I'm going to say the chicken. And joining us today, it gives me the greatest pleasure to say that we're not supposed to play favorites. I don't care.
I don't hide my favorite, okay? Because I only wanted one person on this podcast. But sorry, go ahead, Brooke. Sorry. Okay, sorry.
I wanted both ladies on the podcast. So if you guys are going to play favorites, know I love you both. We have with us, currently still in the race and still kicking ass and taking names, Izzy and Paige. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're stoked to talk about all of it.
It's a lot to get into, and I have to say, before this season started, Brooke and I did a pre-assessment of the cast, and I was very vocal on this is a Paige Stan podcast, and I was very vocal on that I need a woman team to win. And so it is, you guys are still in it, still fighting, and I just love to see that. Obviously, I love y'all too, but when y'all got the call and they said, Paige, we want you on Amazing Race and you could bring whoever, how did you two prepare for the Amazing Race?
Well, first we said no. Well, first I said no to her. And then first I
Did
said
you
no.
really say no? Did you say I don't want to do this?
I was like, oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. Yeah. We're
Yeah,
busy.
they called me and they were like, we want you to do it with Paige. And I was like, okay, but like Paige might not want to do this. So like, just give me a minute. and so like, yeah, she was hesitant at first.
Yeah.
And it was actually like our girl Sari that pretty much convinced Paige to do it, because I was joking with Sari that I was like, Paige ain't gonna do it, so bitch, get off that couch again. You know, like, what are we doing? And Sari called Paige and was like, I ain't doing it. So so you doing it.
Yeah.
You have to do it.
Yeah, Sari said to me, she was like, you know, I will if I need to, but please don't make me do this. And I said, yes, ma'am. Okay, yes, understood.
but ultimately, like, we've been fans of the race since Paige introduced me to this whole side of reality TV. We have also always watched. It actually took me the Amazing Race. Like, it took me a while to get into Big Brother because I was such a Survivor loyalist. And I felt like those games are too matched, and like, I'm a basketball, not a soccer. So I'm a Survivor, not a Big Brother, you know, like, but then of course I became obsessed with just the general idea of social strategy games. But all the while we were watching the race, and like, we can't watch any of these things without, even though we always said to ourselves, thank God we're never going to do the Amazing Race. Like, even when we watch, we'd be like, okay, baby, you would do this. We would handle like this. Like, we kind of felt like we had been strategizing for it for years in some ways before we got the call. So
yeah, and I grew up watching it. Like, I was a day one watcher.
Yeah.
And have always been a fan. So like, then
you remember where you were when the first episode came out?
Yeah, I was 7 years old. So I was.
Me too, totally. I was in law school. No, it's fine. No, I was in college. It's fine.
My bedtime was 9 o'clock, so I had to watch it the next day.
Yeah.
But I do remember like watching it.
To make me feel
Sorry.
Question for you. You guys talked about that you know would say you would do this, I would do that. Did that actually pan out when you were there, or did it sort of all fall apart?
I think shockingly, like we stuck to it quite well. Like we had this theory that just like from a story producing standpoint, they wouldn't be testing the same skills back to back in the roadblocks.
And we don't have the same skills. So we have these opposite set of skills. So
yeah, so we got lucky on the first roadblock. Yeah. It was kind of a guess, and we were like, I think this is going to be more of an Izzy task, and we got that right. And then we were able to stick to the alternating up to this point. Yeah, and like have it serve us pretty well.
We definitely, after the fact, we were like, wow, the first roadblock is like the most important pick for us, because that's going to determine, we felt like super strongly about setting ourselves up for the end game. Hey, and like having the most flexibility when it comes to tasks the later we got on the race. And so we really wanted to try and alternate sort of no matter what to keep us even.
So you guys decided to alternate even if you were somewhere, like let's say the flute thing was a roadblock and it was Paige's turn. You were going to let Paige do it?
We had certain,
absolutely not.
There were very specific reasons that we would double up.
Yeah.
And something like that was one of them. Like,
okay, fair.
You know, but
you guys had such forethought. Are you kidding me? To have the thought that says they'll probably switch back and forth between the kind of things we ran around like, I was going to say like chickens with their all circled back to chickens. Yep. We did a full 360 there.
Yeah, I mean, in our real lives, we work in entertainment and like we make stories, and like we thought about the race. It's like, well, they're doing that too. So like, what can we, pull from our real work to kind of map out our journey on this race ahead of time. Yeah. We knew we weren't going to move very fast. So we figured we should at least be smart about it.
Yeah. Like we get these comments a lot online from the trolls about like, well, you should have prepared more. Like you should be more in shape. And it's like, okay, but like we actually worked extremely hard to get as prepared as we could while working full-time jobs to prepare for the race. But
talk about it.
That is, I'm sorry to the men out there, but
don't be sorry. Don't say sorry. Take that
I don't
sorry
actually
back.
mean sorry. I just mean like, it's like, I mean, look at it. We love our boy Tucker, but right, what happens, right? Like there are many aspects to this race, and we were very prepared and very trained and very thoughtful about like all the aspects that make up getting to that pit stop,
Yeah, so, I've told off a troll. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say one thing.
She has.
I was the person who got picked on in my season. Brooke can't do this. She can't carry this. She can't. No, Brooke cannot carry this. Like that is just a fact. But Brooke can do other things. And also, thanks for writing this note from your parents' basement while you do relax, people. It is very difficult. They tell you run a marathon every third day if you don't get lost. That was my season of the race. Now maybe it's a little bit different. With each season, I'm sure is different. But that's what they said to us. You were running an average of 8 miles regularly, and I'm not fast and I'm not strong, and frankly you guys are very strong, but you're not the fastest team. But you place to hear you the way that you think about the race, that's going to get you way further than just being able to move quickly, because you have to move smartly. I don't know if that's the right word.
Izzy and Paige, Brooke means it, because also like I hate to put Brooke out there, but Brooke is still on the Facebook, and Brooke is still like, Brooke texts me, they're trolling Izzy and Paige, and I just wrote and she's screenshotting me, and she's like, where do you think he's at right now in this house? I'm like, Brooke, it's 6:45 in the morning. I don't know.
Brooke, get off Facebook.
Brooke is on the front line.
Yeah.
Yes. So Brooke
there are nice people on the Facebook. There are people who say nice things, and they're excited for the finale party. And I like to engage with the people who say nice things every so often. I engage rarely, but it's either when someone they specifically said, what?
I said you have some time for the trolls, just a little bit, and you should.
Well, if they say something nice, like they're excited to meet the Purple Pants podcasters, I'm gonna say hello, and we're excited to meet you. But also, this is garbage. I will speak up. I don't have tolerance for people who are intolerant. That is it. I'm sorry. Yeah. Please continue. I'm done now.
I just say, again, the reason why I love this team so much, right? You might not be the fastest. However, you make rational decisions. You make smart decisions. And that really pays off, though. Like, again, look at Tucker, Eric, and Hunter, right? This week, it was A, B, C, D, E, F.
He doesn't get names right. That's the thing. Yeah, it's fine.
And just how strategic you guys are, I think it really shows off because you're still in the race. Now, for me, I'm rather new to the Amazing Race realm. I'm more of a Survivor realm. And as I started watching Big Brother, Brooke got me into Amazing Race, not Big Brother. I started with like James and Will's season, and there was this big thing on alliances. They're like, this isn't Big Brother or Survivor. We hate alliances. However, we see alliances show up in this iteration of Amazing Race. And I kind of sort of liked it because I've seen enough Amazing Races to know that at some point in time, you're going to have to draw a line with your alliance and you need to move or act fast. You need to be the one pulling the rug out on your alliance and not the alliance pulling the rug out on you. And I feel like we see kind of people struggle with that. When you two are in the race and you're seeing these alliances form, are you thinking to yourself, we want to be in on this or we want to stay far away?
So our theory on Amazing Race alliances is that ultimately they're only beneficial to the fastest on foot team within that alliance.
100%.
You know, if a pack of 3 teams are working to get themselves all the way to the end of the leg together and then they see the mat, which of those 3 teams is going to get first place?
Jag and Jazz.
The team that can sprint there. And so, I mean, we think, you know, in reference to our race specifically, Jag and Jazz had a brilliant plan to put this alliance together that would benefit them the most because they were by far the fastest on foot. And so you actually see over and over again throughout the episodes times when like they went as an alliance and then when they found their footing and had traction to take off without the alliance, they do every time. And it's working.
And I think this is my thing because I talk about it where it's like it's not Big Brother. And I'm, you know, we pride ourselves on being gamers whenever we're talking about, like, I shot myself in the foot by being a little too busy strategically on Big Brother. You know, like we like that, we feed off of that.
Yeah.
But every game is different. If you're a good gamer, then you have to analyze the structure of the game that you're playing. And for me, the issue with alliances is like exactly that, right? Like you can't actually help each other get all the way. There will be one winner. There will be, you individually have to complete a task. Like there's not like, frankly, I think Jag screwed up Joseph on that most recent roadblock because how is helping in that instance gonna help? You know, the minute I wasn't upset with Jack way back in Croatia when I was like, hey, should we work on this together? When you realize like, actually, this is not a task where it helps to work together at all anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I think there are pockets of times given context of where you are in the race where it makes sense to be like, okay, well, if we both want to survive, let's do this together, whatever it is, whether it's navigating or not, you know. But I think the idea that there's an unbreakable bond, there's no voting, there's no like banding together to take someone out. Like people use that and it's like, that's not real on the Amazing Race. And so it's sort of just lip service and only serves the fastest people on foot. So and also like, frankly, we just like felt so confident that like we didn't trust anyone else to navigate us anywhere. And like, we practiced how to navigate. We practiced how to write down directions. We practiced how to talk to each other when doing these things. And it's like, we didn't want to blindly follow. And if anything went wrong, we had no information or no tools to get ourselves out of that issue. And there was no way we were going to put ourselves in that position. And we're pretty proud of that and successful. I mean, you can see on the race that Jack and Chelsea love to follow Izzy and Paige, and we were well aware of it. You know, we love in Brice, they put in a little clip of it, but we purposely like literally waited.
We stopped.
Yes.
And watched them go past that turn. And we're like, great, let's go. You know, like, so we just trusted ourselves more than anyone else.
Yeah. Well, and it all comes back to your speed on foot. Like you just have, like, you can't take the same path as the teams that are faster on foot than you. Like there's no, like, you're just guaranteeing second or third or whatever behind them if you stay with them. And so like, we were very, like, we knew that because of our like fitness level and because of our strengths in the race, it was advantageous for us to not be in an alliance.
Yeah.
And we wish some other teams on our race had figured that out too. But I mean, more props to Jag and Jazz for, you know,
I don't need to give them any more props.
I just want to say,
every
before Brooke goes, the way I am like melting and like salivating and like my britches are moist over here.
Oh,
like
Brice, the word we've had talked about this word.
Sorry.
I don't like the word moist.
Okay.
He uses it too much.
What are we getting moist about though?
I don't know. Oh,
just the way you two are describing, like not just like on the fly, like this is what we do. Like y'all had plans, and it's almost making me a little mad. Not that like y'all had plans, but like it's making me a little upset that we're talking to you right now. And I feel like on the race, I don't really get to hear or see much of this like aspects of from you two. It's like kind of crazy, and it's like turning me on. Like my bitches is ready to go. Like they're just not out here willy-nillying.
Not at all. And we really knew because of our lack of speed on foot, we needed to be near perfect in other aspects of this race. You know, I mean, in between legs, we worked really hard to really analyze, like, okay, that was the mistake, right? Like questioning that or whatever it was. It could be any little detail. Let's try and like gain a minute here because we don't have to do that element anymore. Or we kept trying to figure out ways of making ourselves just like a little bit more efficient. And like at least something that feels good watching it back, because legs 5, 6, and 7 were really hard for both of us. But I really I carried the emotional weight of leg 5, 6, and 7 through those 3 legs. Like I really was, I don't know, in a dark place. Like I was just like in that angry place. And we really got to a good place at the start of leg 8. And it's been like actually really nice seeing, I feel like I can see myself alive again in the race. And so like, that feels really good. And I'm really proud of leg 8, leg 9, you know, we will see leg 10, but I'm really proud of where we're at in our mindset, like racing in these last couple legs.
What leg was the mask that you guys made when you were making the
7?
Okay, so I have to tell you, even though you were in a dark place, like for you, the way, and maybe it's just what they chose to show on the air, I loved the fact that no matter where it was and no one else is there and you could be last and living that moment, I was a frantic lunatic. You guys took the time to just be like, whatever happens, love you. We've got this. Stay strong, stay sharp, the relationship was just so beautiful to watch. And I love that they highlighted that, or that they're still highlighting that even when you're in your dark place, because they're not really they're showing a little, but they're not showing a lot of like, if it's a lot of darkness. I like that they're showing
we
a lot
were
of the
never
light.
dark with each other. You know, like we were never mad at each other. I don't understand when teammates we are going for the same goal. You know what I mean? Like our goal is the same. So I don't know why. Yeah, sorry, Brooke.
Like, it was specific circumstance.
You didn't know him. You know, it's different. It's different. You didn't know him. But it's like,
and I love him. It's fun.
But the mask was like a turning point.
Yeah.
For us and for me, I felt like there were several things in the last couple of legs where I felt like I was following or really needing to lean on Paige, and I wanted to be able to provide, you know, like I wanted to be able to feel like a super active, like leader part of our team, because I felt like Paige was carrying a lot of that. So the masks was like pretty empowering for me to just feel like I know how to do this, you know, but also like one of the things we really trained was like, we're proud of our one and done on detours, you know, our one and done vibe.
Yeah. I want to say one thing.
I know
like,
you do.
We between every leg, when we were like reassessing, like, how do we get better? We tried really hard to never say, how do we move faster? We tried to say, how do we move more efficiently?
So like, so on the masks, it was like
sound effects
is not going to help us, you know, like we have to do this fine motor skills. Like we need to breathe. We need to go slow so that we're faster. And like, I feel like that's something that sets apart teams that can't rely on their speed. Good teams that can't rely on their speed. Shout out to Amy and Maya, you know, like very like task oriented and present and like, so we just like really thought that was important, and we're proud that we keep saying we have proof of concept. You know?
So at the masks, that was like the best moment when Izzy took over and was like, whoa, you're trying to move fast and that's not helping. And like, now we're going to move efficiently. And like that grounding was like great. And like, I am also really proud of like, you know, our mantra that kind of naturally like evolved of like, I love you no matter what, of like, and that was code for like, we both know that this is not going great right now. And guess what? If we go home today, like we're gonna make out at the airport, you know, like
exactly.
and it's
I
still gonna be
can't.
great. Like,
Just the way they look at each other, Brice. Like it's just this is like goals. It's Is there anything from the first how many have there been? 9. Is there anything from the first 8 episodes or so that they didn't show that you wish they had shown?
I want to say one thing.
Yeah.
In Budapest, they didn't show. Okay, so in Budapest, this was the leg. Was it the now I'm scrambled? The leg after Berlin. It was like the next time we were taking a long overnight train.
The next train.
And on the last train, so we took several trains, and at this point we're in Romania, I believe.
Is this the one where some teams took a one long train and other teams jumped trains?
Yes, there were 2 packs.
Yeah, okay.
One that was behind our pack. Yes, that was on a sleeper.
Yeah.
And we were on another, like hopping around and all this stuff, and we were waiting for our connection to our very last train, and we're exhausted. It's like 5 a.m. We've been up all night. It's like crazy early, and all of a sudden we just hear, and we're all just kind of like waiting, and we hear commotion, and I forget if it was Jag or Jazz or someone else came running, be like, there's an earlier train, and everyone is just running, and we look at each other and we're like, we don't know we want to do this, but we're going to follow and see what's up. We follow. The teams are literally on this train, and we're like,
so hold on, so it was 6 of us at the front of the pack, all 6 teams. Jag and Jazz say there's a train that will get into Budapest 5 minutes sooner.
I think it was even like 3 minutes. I think it was like,
and it arrives at a different station.
No.
And so we're running with everyone. All the teams file onto this train, and the 2 of us say like, okay, it gets into Budapest 5 minutes sooner and is 5 minutes further away from the location we're going. We're not getting on
and also
train.
It's 5 a.m. on a train in a new country that we haven't been. We have directions from the train station to the bathhouse. Like we know how to get there.
Yeah.
And so
once again, we realized if we go with all of these teams and run from this new train station,
have a chance.
We'll be in 6th place. And so we don't need to go with them. And so we actually separated from that pack and did not arrive in Budapest with any other teams.
It was crazy. Jag and Jazz and Tucker and Eric, bags on the train, literally stepped off the train being like, wait, you're not coming. You're not following us. And we were like, we're not. We'll see you at the bathhouse.
Okay.
And so they didn't show it because we ultimately ended up showing up to the bathhouse 6th, but right behind them because our train was delayed. We got on it and we literally were right before the stop, and it was another minute
delayed into the station.
We were like, we had them so spooked if this train wasn't late. But anyway, showing up.
I mean, our gamble worked out because we said if we go with them, we'll be in 6th place. If we don't go with them, we'll either be in 1st or 6th.
Yeah.
And like, let's
so
give
we'll
it a
make
shot.
that choice every time, you know. But,
correct choice. Correct.
We were pretty bummed they didn't show that, especially since the edit had been so Alliance heavy and so Follow the Banes bros heavy, and we were very proud not to have done that and actually had them spooked. I mean, teams were pretty intimidated, I think, that we...
And I love the image of y'all just standing back by the train like...
Literally, we were like, okay.
We waved goodbye to them.
They literally backed back onto the train and watched the train doors close, and we were like...
And that was like for us kind of tonally it really like set set the scene for us. Like we are doing this alone and we need to keep making these decisions for ourselves. And it was kind of like the start energetically of us like kind of having some confidence.
And I love that because whether it worked out or not, that level of the other teams looking at you like, oh shit.
I love it, Brice. You know, I love it.
And it's like mind games where it's like, like y'all are on that. And I know that you talked earlier. I want to just go back to the original U-turn and how upset you 2 were. In my mind, watching the episode, right, I am pissed. I'm like, why are they why are they U-turning my team? But in my opinion, and again, I'm at home on the couch watching. I really do feel like it lit a fire under y'all. That like had that fire not been lit, like I don't know, like I'm sure you would have done well, but I feel like it put something in the stove that like now it's like I have to beat your behind.
It's excellent storytelling. Excellent storytelling, absolutely.
I mean, after the fact, we've talked about this, but like I feel so proud that we were U-turned and that we didn't even come in second to last on that leg. You know, two teams were behind us, and that we just like had the experience of what it felt like to have to fight from the back and then have to continue to fight, because of course, you know, when we're in the back, there's no equalizer, you know, like we've had to fight from the back for quite a few legs up until maybe now, right? Up until now, starting leg 9, we've had to fight to remedy that detour, that U-turn, you know? And so like, I am proud of it, but like ultimately, I mean, I just think I was mostly mad because it didn't make sense strategically, which meant it was personal. Like if it's not strategic, then it's personal, because why would you do it? Because it doesn't necessarily help you in the game.
Yeah. Who do you think they should have U-turned?
I don't think they should have U-turned anyone. Okay. I think the U-turn is like the best use. It's like, let the ones in the back eat each other and try to figure it out. Like, at least that's how, I mean, I think that's how I would approach a U-turn board.
Wait, so I forget, because I knew when you're first, that's right. People can say, we choose not to use it.
You don't have to use it. The live U-turn is different, right? So like the live U-turn, you are forced to vote. But when it's just a U-turn board that you show up to, like, you don't have to use it.
You can leave that as a tool for the teams in the back who are panicking. And honestly, if they had U-turned no one, we were not navigating very well that leg. It was actually one of our weakest navigation legs.
Yeah.
We might, if there had been a blank board when we got there, we might have ended up being the villains of this season.
Yeah.
And like, U-turning.
I mean, it would depend on whoever was behind us.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is the teams that were with us behind us were the teams we were the most emotionally attached to for the most part at that point in the race. But we would have done it. I mean, we're not, you know.
Yeah, we were running the race alone.
Yeah.
So, so who knows? But yeah, we were. Yeah. So it felt personal, and it was difficult. And I do love, like, they're making TV, and it's like such a spectacular story.
Izzy's reaction was like chef's kiss, hilarious, perfect, and a 10th of the reaction that I would have had. So when people are like, "Why'd you get so mad?" I'm like, "She did it."
Like, also people love to tone police women.
They love to tone police women. It's sort of like we were alone. Like, yes, we are on camera and it is visible, but that was a moment where like we were alone. So I was reacting like, I was alone, being like, these motherfuckers, you know, like, of course.
Everyone gets to do that.
Who's not going to do that? Anyway.
And I just love Paige in that moment where how many times when you're mad and someone tells you to shh, be quiet, right? Like the way that you like validated Izzy in that moment, it was like, pop off. But now let's reel it back in and figure, like, I love that moment, because so many times I'm yelling and Brooke's like, shut up. I'm like, let me just yell. And it just, I just love y'all. And I love the fact that it's like, okay, they communicate in a relationship. Like you can see healthy communication. Okay. Because sorry, that just did something for me in that moment. And I acknowledge it and I appreciate it. And I hope when I find a partner that they are an ounce of Paige.
Thank you, Brice.
To quote our favorite Rubina, who's a queen, healed queen.
Yes.
Healed queers. Okay.
Yes.
You're seeing healed queers.
Yeah, well, I also think, like, not to go into like couples therapy here, but like all of that stuff that you're seeing from us is like skills that we learned. Like we had we met in September of 2019, and then in March of 2020 we were like, you know, sequestered together in Izzy's 1-bedroom junior apartment in New York City, in Manhattan, like not leaving the apartment, 6 months into dating. And like you got to learn some things about each other if you want to survive that, you know? And like now we've just like, we're, you know, 6 years in of like having the hard conversations about like, what do you need when you're stressed? And like, how can I support you when I'm stressed without like, you know, feeling unheard and invalidated?
Yeah.
And
I mean, that was a big part of our preparation, was figuring out how do we support each other when we are both anxious.
Yeah.
Because that's hard, because we know how to, when I'm chill and she's upset, I know exactly what to do, but what if I'm wrapped up in myself, you know? So we like thought about that a lot. And I think that really helped us. And
yeah, I mean, that was a huge part of our, like, you know, our lives, but also our like specific preparation for the race was like, you know, we wanted to be as prepared as we could in so many ways.
And I think it's great because the moisture.
Sorry, it's a puddle.
I think it's great because a lot of teams don't take the time to prepare for that part of. I was also chuckling because I met my husband January 2020. So 2 months later, we were quarantined in my 1-bedroom apartment in New York City.
Bro.
So I get your feelings.
Wow. That's brave.
Yeah.
That's so brave.
We didn't die. Anyway, if we're talking about the U-turns, are we okay to talk about the next U-turn? Because this was dramatic.
Let's go.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, do you want us to just go?
I'm happy to ask questions, but like I'm trying to think of the right way to ask. I mean, just go.
On our last recap of the episode, and again, like I said, even listening to y'all now, I'm like, I don't know if I actually be that good on Amazing Race because like I would be like following her. I'm like, okay, they're showing me that I'm not ready. But I'm like, okay, maybe I just need to stick to commentating. But from my opinion, because at this point, y'all are Amazing Race experts. I really thought the MVP, in my opinion, was Adam, right? Like, I felt like Adam was making, like, I know Joseph didn't want to do it, but I really thought Adam was putting their team first.
100%. I mean, well, yeah.
I have feelings. Go ahead, Brice.
I think it's a complicated thing. This is a conversation where I want to be careful,
Okay.
Right.
Like personally, I was with Adam until the revote. I don't think it made
he
sense.
did the right thing, bro.
That's what I'm
you telling me
saying.
you standing there, you don't want 3 teams U-turn? You want to protect Taylor like that after?
Hear me out. Hear me out for a hot second. Just hear me out.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not saying I wouldn't have done the same, but what I am saying is the way it was edited, they showed him very clearly saying they wanted a particular team out, the 2 guys, and then they voted for the third team to be U-turned. So in my mind, and perhaps I will say I watched it after going to a Survivor event and I had beverages. So it is possible I missed things. And I didn't rewatch it before, and I haven't rewatched it since. So, but what I will say is, if you're looking for one of the dominating male teams to be kicked out of the race, I would not, I don't think, have put a third team in the double U-turn because the likelihood is that third team is the team that's not going to get through.
I completely agree with you.
But I do like having as many teams U-turned as possible. So there is sort of like a... I
think you're so right, Brooke. Like, if your goal is to send home specifically any of the dominating all-male teams, then like do not put a third team in there. But I think we were seeing that Joseph and Adam were regularly benefiting from their alliance with Jag and Jazz, and they still were. And like, they weren't great navigators on their own. Love you, Adam brothers. Like, they were, Jag and Jazz were doing a lot of their navigating. They didn't want Jag and Jazz going home. And like, I think Joseph abstaining from the vote, that left Adam to be like, okay, what's another team that is kind of benefiting from this that I don't need to benefit from this because I want to benefit from it the most. And I think Adam made a really smart move, like for himself, like in the interest of his team. Not that I agree.
I think he made a really smart move in the anyone but me. I think he made a very smart anybody but me move, but I think that they took a gamble.
I think there is an element that they are showing on the show that stuck with Team Abden Brothers, right? Which is the fact that Joseph and Taylor have this tie that maybe isn't completely reciprocal, right? That they're, that I think we're seeing
that,
or that it's not mutually beneficial.
Exactly, that it's not mutually beneficial, and so I think Adam was also seeing that. And of course, when it comes to Jag and Jazz or Taylor and Kyland, well, Jag and Jazz are looking out for the team in total, and sort of Kyland and Taylor are maybe looking out for themselves.
That's fair.
Joseph and Adam.
Adam voted to make sure that he and Joseph were the only passenger princesses left.
Yes.
And they knew what they were
received that. Now, can we talk about Taylor's decision to U-turn you? Because in our last podcast episode, I said 2 things can be true at the same time, right? I think of what Taylor said about it being hard for women and that they want a women team to, and to be beneficial, right? And at the same time, she can put herself first and want to eliminate you two, and or not eliminate you, but like put you in a U-turn. So like, I'm just curious to know your thought process on that.
So like first and foremost, we expected to get U-turn votes. We are not upset about seeing our faces on one of those boards.
Not at all.
Even
for the record,
in the moment, we were not upset about the fundamental fact of us being on that board. Like we weren't working with Taylor, like of course, and like we weren't concerned about that at all. But the specific pairing of that vote with the speech she had just given, like acknowledging like that perhaps she, being a woman in this race, shouldn't be getting votes because of her womanhood, and then giving votes, you know, to the only all-female team left who was still actively fighting to not be the fourth all-female team eliminated in a row, thanks to the non-elimination
BS.
That pairing of things was frustrating to receive in the moment. But I think the episode talked about it like pretty eloquently, actually. I don't know how many contestants come on here and say that they feel like their feelings were represented by the edit.
I feel like ours were. I mean,
in that moment,
you know, I struggle a lot with, like, I understand that visibly coming onto these shows, this is what an underdog looks like, right? No one's looking at us and immediately thinking threat, right? And for some people,
they should be. I'm just saying.
But I mean,
I hope in the future they are. But
next time they will.
Yeah, I think like for some people, that's really motivating. And I think it's motivating for me, but I actually get really frustrated by continually like showing like power or showing ability and still not getting any recognition. And I felt something that really sort of, I don't know, hurt me in Taylor's speech is when she said, I'm a woman at the top of this race. Like, I'm a woman in the top. And it's like, does that invalidate every other woman working extremely hard, working against a punishment given by a team of all men that you have uplifted and given an advantage to? And somehow our race, because we have been fighting to get back to the top pack. Don't forget leg one, Taylor. We came in third place after starting 12th after the sleds. Where did you place? Right? So don't say that somehow just you are fighting against this inequity in the race. That really hurt me because I think we had, up until that point, exhibited extreme skill, extreme fight, extreme knowledge about the race and about ourselves and our relationship. And like teams were starting to recognize that. I never felt like Taylor did. And that's something that really hurt me because we respected her the entire time. We did not U-turn her. We didn't get petty and want to U-turn her again. You know,
you hear that one line in the episode that's kind of taken out of context and maybe doesn't read as anything when we're doing the revote. And Izzy says, we're not going to be like Taylor and Kyland. And that is why we are not voting for Taylor and Kyland. Because we
gotta rewatch this episode, man.
Yeah, what we were saying in that moment was like, we're extremely frustrated. We feel like slighted by her in this like fundamental way. And yet we still believe in the speech that she gave.
Yes.
And we still will not give a disadvantage to a woman.
And I'm sorry that she can't say the same. And I'm sorry that she
Well, and a little more context to this, that like we don't like need a sob story or whatever, but the cab ride to the voting location, we had a cab driver who was kind of just going for it and not communicating with us at all. And Izzy was pushing him to confirm that he was going to the right place. And he screamed, "Woman, shut up," and made us ride silently. And thankfully we did get to the right location, but we were in like a modest hostage situation, like on the way to the voting U-turn.
He refused to talk to us.
And so of course, like, you know, Taylor had no way of knowing that. No one had any way of knowing that. But like, yeah, so it did feel like particularly kind of like pressure cooker-esque in that moment of we had like literally just left this experience with this cab driver who made us ride silently. Yeah. And then to go into all of that. So like, you know, there's a lot more emotion, you know, behind it than you would ever see on camera. So
did you guys have the opportunity to talk about it with her after or since, or is that not something that was like interested in doing at that point?
Not like in extreme depth. You know, we live very different lives on opposite coasts. So not a whole ton, but a little bit. Yeah.
I try to be a positive voice of reason, and I try to, live by what I say. But I'm almost happy that this happened, right? Because I feel like you guys can relate where we're queers. We have friends that say they're allies, right? And they like, they do all of these things, and then you be like, but wait, who you vote for? Or like you be like, or you like, baby, that's actively not an ally, right? And I think in their hearts they believe that they are actually doing the right thing. And I think like this episode for me was like, I feel like it could be a growing experience where I like, again, I absolutely believe what Taylor was saying. Like I agree with, and I know that she wholeheartedly agreed with. But then at the same time, she's in this race and she's playing for herself. And so I really think that it's a way that people could look at this and be like, now, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And it can challenge people's way of thinking is the way that I look at it. And I think that it should, because it's like, I just think it should.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I do think if we move away from alliances, there are ways on the race to try to help keep teams in that you would like to continue racing with, whether because you think you can beat them or because you want the race to look like that. I think something that also up at this point really like was like the straw that broke the camel's back for me, at least, was that like, I agree, Brice, that she believes that with her whole soul, right? I believe that. But is she confident enough in herself to trust to be surrounded by women? Because she gave that express. I know everyone's sick of the express pass, but you gave the express pass to Jag and Jazz, not the Chadas, who you have relationships with, who are strong, capable women that can continue with you in this race. We worked really hard we helped Rubina and Christine navigate because we wanted to keep racing with them. Not that we're in an alliance, but if you can help teams.
And at the roadblock in leg 9, shortly after this U-turn vote, like I made a point to like make sure that all of the women who showed up after me knew not to waste any time trying to work together with the boys.
Loved that.
I was the first of the women to show up to that, and they didn't really show it in the edit, but like Tucker tried to work with me, and I was flustered that the U-turn teams had gotten there before me, and I spent a few minutes being like, okay, let's figure this out, and quickly then realized like that was a waste of a few minutes. Don't try and work with them. I know more than them. And also this isn't a collaborative roadblock. And so I made sure to pass that message along to the women. We certainly weren't in an alliance with Taylor, but I did want her to be in the race. Like I did want her to beat Tucker.
Yeah.
And I did want her to feel empowered in that moment against, this guy that's going to beast the stairs, but not know what he's doing on either end of the stairs,
Yeah.
So,
I love that they showed you whispering to Chelsea saying they don't know what they're doing. Do not help them. Because I like that, because I do feel like, especially when you're in the back, because I know there is like a desire to be like, look, just if somebody's with me, I'm not alone. So if someone's agreeing to work with me, then at least I have a chance. And but I love that you had the confidence to be like, I don't need you. None of the other women need you. We can do this without you. We're out of here.
Well, and frankly, is that not how men show up to tasks? We have to show up like that. Like we want to show up mentally like men show up, like they can do anything. And I think that's something that like women from the beginning of time have been told, that we need to think through men, that we need men, that like we're not encouraged to be competitive in sports as kids like men are, like boys are, and like that. I feel like we learned that on the race, where it's like, we've done everything.
You actually have to be cocky.
You actually have to be cocky, and you have to be confident in yourself. And it's something that like, and also,
so I was really proud to like muster up that like cockiness in myself and make a point to, Chelsea didn't really need it, but like to lend it to Chelsea, and then also to lend it to Taylor. There's also, I also had multiple interactions with Taylor at that roadblock of like, not only just like the confidence building, but also directly saying Tucker is lost. he's going to try and work with you.
I
Don't,
love that.
like,
I love
stay away.
that.
And
You
just
will
love
finish this
that.
alone.
And a thing about, because trolls are like bashing us, it's so unsportsmanlike that you cheered so hard when Eric and Tucker got eliminated. And we've been talking, no one's saying, wow, everyone wanted Taylor and Kylan to stay. No one's saying, you cheered because they were successful.
We were cheering for Taylor
and Kylan,
like surviving.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, a lot of people have reached out about how.
And that says something about you guys, because they went to U-turn you, and you see the cheering on the mat for them surviving.
But, yeah,
frankly,
I hope that
don't read all of it. It's like not worth your time or your energy. I will tell you a story offline after this about how I dealt with it a little bit, because I don't think I should share this online. But also, can I just take 3 seconds and shout out Papa Camhi, because I'm pretty sure he wanted a son first. So he made me like super competitive and like super like you can do anything. So thanks, Dad, because I know you're watching this, for making me have confidence even when I suck at things. Okay.
Yeah. Shout out Papa Camhi. Hey, Dale.
Hey, Dale.
They're definitely watching this on the television in the den right now, like screaming at the TV, being like, they talk to us. They're very into this. I have a question for Paige.
Yeah.
Have you used the I saved you from skydiving, so you owe me this, whatever the this is, yet since you've been home? And if so, what was the this?
Yes. And it better be something big.
Actually, I don't think that I've specifically used it.
Listen, I was going to eat the nasty thing.
This is like no spoilers. When the race concluded, when the entire race concluded,
whole thing.
Whether we were in whatever position, we're not, saying. I approached a producer and I was like, can you just find a cockroach? Because like I jumped out of an airplane and she didn't have to eat anything. So like, could you just like get something real quick?
You're so evil. Oh my God.
He literally was like shouting. She was like, who's got something nasty?
So I can share this with you. So Ricky and Sacer, Ricky and Sacer is a chef. He has all sorts of weird things in their freezer. Yes. I know for a fact they have freeze-dried spiders. I will not touch them or allow them in my house because Brice knows my fear of the spider. But if we want Izzy to have to, compensate for the fact that she didn't have to. Sorry, no, I didn't say
We'll film it.
We do know people who have weird things she could eat. So that's all I'm saying.
Love that. Yeah. So our agreement going in, neither of us are really heights people, but like, I'm aware that I like have more of the capacity to be a heights person than her. So I was like, that's my job. I understand. I will do the heights if at all possible, but like you have to do the eating. Like, and the only things we had to eat on the race were
meat.
Were regular food that I don't like. And we both had to do it.
And I was like, that's delicious.
So I had to eat red meat and olives, 2 things I would never eat.
I love olives. Brooke always says, if you make it long enough on the race, there will be a task, a detour, a roadblock that is like specifically put in for you. Bitch, I need to know, when you tore open that thing and saw that it was going to be a flute, were you like, this is me, let's go, this is me.
Like, well, okay, well, actually, I'll tell the story. So, when we were still at the Easter egg hunt, Paige was waiting, and when Chelsea and Jack arrived, right? Jack comes barreling in.
So Chelsea and Jack had gotten so lost on the way to Easter egg that they had actually run into Tucker and Eric, who were on their way to the detour.
No, well, yes, they had already gotten their detour clue, and they were on the way to flutes.
And so Tucker and Eric told Chelsea and Jack that the detour options were dancing or flute playing. And so Jack then showed up to the roadblock while Chelsea was doing the roadblock and told me, well, I hope Izzy taught you how to play the flute because there's a flute detour.
And so then when I got the clue and running off, she's like, baby, it's flutes. It's flutes. It's flutes. And I was like, oh, like.
Brice, you have a head exploding sound. This is where you use your head exploding.
I was like, we're crushing this thing.
And something else that they didn't show was Jack said to me at the roadblock, I hope Izzy taught you how to play the flute.
And
the very last thing that we did to prepare for the race,
literally before going to bed,
the night before we left for the race, was that Izzy was like, let's teach you how to play the Amazing Race theme song on the flute.
Where is your flute? And can you play it for us? Just like a snippet.
I do not remember how. It's
no,
over.
no, but Izzy probably knows how to do it.
Go get it.
Okay. Izzy didn't even hesitate. Okay. Izzy said, flute.
I love the flute. I think the flute is such a beautiful instrument. The clarinet's ugly. That's what I played. I didn't like it. It was stupid. But the flute.
Okay, I got my plastic shitty flute.
Ladies and gentlemen, Izzy.
Anyway, this is the flute that I taught Paige to play the flute on before we left for the race.
Yeah, she wouldn't hand me the gold one. She handed me the plastic one.
That's true.
I mean, baby's first flute. I got it. That makes sense.
Anyway, so I taught her how to play the flute, so we were stoked.
Yeah, so that's why like my sound wasn't like good, but compared to like Chelsea and Jack, like I was making like
she was making a tone
on because she had already.
I'm sorry, wait. She was I couldn't hear you, Izzy. She was making what?
A tone. Anyway, yeah, so it felt really good. It felt like, I don't know, we were itching for longer form tasks, detail-oriented tasks, just like a variety of tasks. I yelled about it at almost every pit stop. They were so sick of me. I'll be like, where are the masks? Where's the music? Where's the art? Why we
same conversations at the mat. We didn't get to art until leg 7.
It's
and
like,
so I'm going, everything is stairs. Everything is stairs. Oh my God. And so when we finally got to, I think 6, there was no art. 7 was where we had to make our masks. And we showed up and I was like, finally, now can we play the piano? Where's the next leg? Like, let's do this.
Yeah, just a variety of tasks. So I feel like we were like, we were just thrilled. Like I was excited for a needle in a haystack task. Honestly, I mean, they're scary, but it's like, ooh, it feels so doable to me. And like, so we were thrilled about that. The flutes, of course, was just like totally re-energizing. The meat, like I cook, like, listen, I'm Sicilian. I make the meat the ball. You know what I mean? Like we was fine.
So it was so satisfying to finally have a leg that felt like it was testing skills beyond our like physical ones.
I will admit it was frustrating that leg was a leg where no one got eliminated. And we love the Abden brothers. They are in our, top 3 closest friends that we got gained from this race, but frankly, it was pretty frustrating game design wise that it was like, okay,
we finally.
And then for them to only have a U-turn vote as the penalty, like, what?
Thank you, Brooke. Why is no one talking about that enough? Especially because who is going to U-turn the team that got saved in a non-elimination? Who last?
Yeah,
no one's U-turning them. You know what I mean? It's like
U-turn them real fast.
It proves once again that the people designing this show don't understand the sport of the show.
I just wish that there would have been whether it's another task, whether it's a speed bump, because there should be a speed bump. That's the general rule in the past many seasons.
Right.
Well, we shouldn't have a non-eliminated. Didn't we get done with that? I know ours is a little hinky season, but like
Izzy, I say that I yell at Phil when the start of the season, he says there are no non-eliminations, so it leads you to believe that everyone is going home. He says that in previous seasons, but although, like, I do love my Joseph and Adolf.
Well, yes, it's hard,
It's hard, but I feel like they should have been one of the teams to get U-turned. Like, I feel like that would feel
like an automatic U-turn.
Yes.
Yeah. I see that. Yeah.
Well, I think it's funny because I think the way they produce the show, the producers think they're being completely neutral, but actually where you place certain benchmarks along the race is not neutral. Like to say that both of your U-turns are on 2 of the most deeply physical legs of the race, and that your one non-elimination is on the leg that tests the most traditionally female skills, like that is taking a perspective on like what you are trying to test on the race,
who you're trying to help.
So I don't know. We felt that heavy, even though we were so glad to see Joseph and Adam, and like they are 2 of our best friends from the race. Truly, seriously. Like we admire them so much, and this is nothing to do with like them specifically, just the game design at large. It's like, of course, we finally found a leg that we would be competitive in, and they deemed that the one that no one should have to go home
and
on.
Also the leg that is the last leg you can use express passes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not that. Like, you know, if that leg was actually leg 7, it would have looked different or whatever.
A lot
Or leg
different.
9, right? Like,
Yeah.
Anyway.
I have to think of it from their, like, just from their perspective, thinking about this now, which I haven't thought about until this very moment, wondering if it had been not Joseph and Adam who were not eliminated, that putting another team automatically in a U-turn or automatically throw the chest on such a physical leg next may also have not been like the most equalizing thing. So I don't know. I mean, I can't,
just don't
far be
design
it from me.
Inequitably.
Well, yeah.
Don't design it
Far be
inequitably.
it for me to like
What have I
understand
been
what
saying
he's
to
doing.
Brice? You're gonna die. If 99 to beat can be equitable in their comps, what are we doing? Because let me tell you, 99 to beat, she equitable.
I like that show. I like that. Go, Tommy. Okay.
Shout out Tommy Bracco. No.
Okay, yes.
No, yes, of course.
And
Love
look
him.
at me. Now, something that, again, I'm from Survivor, even though I'm not really from Survivor. I'm just
Hey,
like the
baby,
prelude
yes,
of Survivor.
He did a 3
the
episode
thing that I
arc.
love the most about Amazing Race is like, I'll be like, what is in your backpack? And then Brooke is teaching me that she's washing her shirt and underwear in the sinks because she didn't want to pack a lot of stuff. I'm like, wait a minute.
Throwing stuff out along the way.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
We thought we were being pretty good about, we were weighing our bags as we were getting prepared to the race and wanting to keep it under a certain amount of weight. We were running with our bags before we went on the race. You know, we were very aware of like what the weight would be like. And even still, when we got to the race, at almost every pit stop up until maybe this point on the race, our bags are our smallest, but we dumped.
By the time we got to leg 8, we had like a change of underwear and a toothbrush and like
right. We had our toiletries and a change of underwear and socks, you know, like, and that was basically
we kept our jackets because of we were running such a cold race.
Yeah.
But like we really had at the end of leg 7, when we ended up in that foot race with Jack and Chelsea,
we were like, we got dumped.
And they edged us out. I mean, we were just so physically exhausted, and we were like, we need to be prepared to be that exhausted again, and like get there first.
Try to win.
Like, so we everything went between 7 and 8.
But yeah, Brice, we had a whole system where like we would finally get back to our hotel in between legs, and I would literally walk straight into the shower, fully dressed, like fully in my clothes. And as I'm taking off all my clothes in the shower, she's taking off her clothes and then getting ready for the drying station. And I was scrubbing in the shower, handing to her, and she was rolling in towels and putting in our makeshift dryer that we made with the hair dryer in a drawer and like getting
Don't do that. Don't do that. You're going to set your hotel on fire. Don't do it. But we did do it.
We did do it. Yeah. And like, and so, yeah. And then you just like because the thing that I find the most frustrating is like, they don't actually tell you, okay, you'll have 18 hours or, oh, you'll have 12 hours. Oh, you have 24 hours. You just get a random knock in the night with a go time. And so I was really nervous about us not having dry clothes to start the next leg. Like that to me was like so anxiety inducing.
Nothing worse than soggy socks.
Miserable and uncomfortable and itchy. And now we're going to be a little damp. You know, it's like,
Well, especially because so many of our legs started with like overnight train
it
travel
was like,
in like sub-freezing weather. We were like literally concerned.
Right. Actually, this is another, just because we're talking about this is another like just something that didn't really get aired to its like the reality of what it felt like was on that first overnight to Prague. We were in Leipzig, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were in Leipzig between like 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. or something like that. It was like we had 3 or 4 hours in the middle of the night, and the train station was open air. Like it was cold. And so at first, all teams and crew found this one stairwell that was closed, and literally each team and their crew just bumped up on a landing. Wow. And we were at the top because we live in New York and like heat rises. And so we were at the top landing.
Sorry to all the other teams that we did not say that to and are just finding that out right now. I mean, when we said we would go to the top.
Exactly. Yeah. But we were the ones that literally got woken up by German police straddling us, standing over us and telling us like, you got to fucking go. Like you can't be here. And we were like, blah, 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 and looking at our crew, and the crew's like, okay, we going.
And he literally had to back up off of us for us to stand up.
We were like, we can't stand up. Your legs are literally on us. Like, anyway, so that was crazy and intense. And it was like freezing. Anyway,
yeah, it was like that was like the
only time I wore pants was in Leipzig.
Also, shout out to the crew because people think that they like go to a hotel and
They do
like
not.
live
They're
it
right
up.
there with us. They're right there with
They're
us.
in it. They're in it.
So anyway,
So,
that was a great joke.
Sorry. So at the end, I mean, you guys have been doing it, so maybe it's not, maybe there's nothing else, but I do like to open up the floor to anything that you haven't been asked that you want to clear up, anything that you wish had been shown that hadn't, anything that was shown in a way that was edited weird, anything else, like last thoughts that you had. I know Paige has something that makes me so happy. So what do you got?
I just want to give Izzy her props for Sisyphus for that boulder.
Yeah.
Okay,
they didn't show it. I'm pretty disappointed. They didn't show
how
it.
heavy was that boulder?
So we arrived at the bottom of that hill with those boulders at the exact same time as Tucker and Eric. Our cabs pulled up side by side. Think about how much of that episode took place with Tucker and Eric at that roadblock before we arrived at that roadblock. We struggled. I struggled. So the ball, it's just like an inflatable ball. So like physically, like we probably could have lifted it straight in the air on our own. But when you pushed into it, it absorbed your push, and like it wasn't rigid. And so my arms, like my shoulders, my back gave out
and it was instantly. A long. We keep talking about it like it was almost a mile up. Like it was not an insignificant.
I mean, we don't know for sure. It was certainly more than half a mile.
30 miles.
It was
the bottom,
and it was snowing, and
and you were barefoot. You had damp socks, soggy feet, uphill both ways. I get it.
I resent in the editing. They show all the buff boys saying how hard that was when they got to the end, and we can't get no credit pushing that ball up. It's like nothing.
But I just wanted to say that I burned out just right away. I pushed that ball for maybe 3 minutes before I couldn't move my arms anymore. I got to the point where I was pushing with my head, and Izzy just kept going. And Izzy did that on her own.
But she was guiding. We did it was sort of like the Joseph Adam, slightly more successful in the communication, but she was steering the thing, and I was just putting my head down, pushing.
Izzy just grinded that out, and that's the reason I was able to then participate in the roadblock.
It's true, actually,
because she saved me. I wish that it had given her more props for that, because that was just a grind. It was such a grind, and Izzy was like, "I'm gonna do it." I left my kneecaps at the bottom of the hill. Do it,
Yeah. But I guess I don't know. I mean, we're super proud of how we've been doing so far, and
should be
having the best time. And I like being intense and passionate and competitive. I think I've come to accept that. I enjoy, I am like that because I enjoy living in those feelings and feeling big.
We're intense people.
We're artists, okay? But I just not having Paige on Big Brother felt like the missing piece. I was so thankful to have built a real relationship with Suri where it could feel a little bit like home, because I really trusted her soul. We trusted each other. But it was man, the only thing I missed was Paige. And so now getting to do this with her, I just feel like my best self and most capable self. And so I'm so glad that we got to show it off, and I'm so proud that they're leaving in so many times that we kissed, and so much gay shit, and they're allowing us to be seen in the way that we want to be seen. Has felt really validating, especially because I was so frustrated sort of by my erasure on my Big Brother season in the edit. And so I don't know, no matter what I do, I would love to keep doing TV. And I love these shows, these games, but no matter what, I think Tar 38 is going to be at the top of the list of experiences, and just loving it for, we can't wait to now binge it all back. We're already talking about when it's, I want to watch it back.
I'm feeling you.
I live in New York City. You guys are, I'll have a viewing party. Come on over. I'll host. I like hosting things.
Steal. Yeah. Absolutely, Brooke.
But anyway, so I don't know.
Spring 2026.
Yeah.
Brice is trying to get me to rewatch season 29 in spring of 2026. So I don't know about that, but I will definitely rewatch.
I'll come talk about it with you, Brice.
Thank you, Izzy.
How do I get ousted from our podcast by everybody who wants to take over and talk about our season? It's fine.
season.
It is.
It's a great season.
All right. Fine.
It's a great season. It's a great season. It's been a great
gondola
season.
ride. Brooke,
I mean, that was my flute. I sang opera in college. And
yeah, you did
Oh
great.
yeah. Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I'm like,
Yes,
yes,
you did good.
that's my flute. So, and that was a one try detour. So,
Hell yeah.
yes.
Anyway,
Queens,
Sorry.
Queens, I love
Yeah.
it. No, I was saying we just love watching you two, and we're so excited. And we're so grateful that you could jump on our checkpoint with Brooke and Brice. We're excited. We will keep seeing how this season airs. We will be rooting. Well, I will be rooting for you,
Rooting
Paige.
for both of them.
I'm rooting for Paige too.
Okay, so it works out.
Yeah.
But this was so amazing. We love you too. I was like in my mind about to go into another story, but I won't because I was just saying like the moment that I first met Paige, like we were outside a bar, and I was like, "Hey, Izzy," and I think I like had just met Izzy too. But the way I just it's like, "Okay, see you later, Izzy." And so, what's your name? What do you do? Like, you have my heart.
Brice for my job, you know.
Well, and of course, I was like fangirling too. I was like, "That's Brice. That's Purple Pants Brice. That's Brice."
She's OG Survivor watcher. Like she was a Brice. She saw what was going on way back when.
Yeah. Well, and like I've talked to Brice about this before, but like I want the whole world to know that. Like, what was it? It was like was it in People magazine or something shortly after your season when you did that interview and you said, the producers made me wear the purple pants.
Yes.
I read that and like that was like that informed the rest of my reality TV watching for all time. I was not kidding when I was like, I am a Brice fan, like from your performance on Survivor and your like existence in life since. Like it was so influential for me as like, a young queer fan of these shows to start to understand that I'm seeing all the queer people on the show like through a lens that these producers like put them in, and that like I can be proud of them and I can be proud to be one of them, and that like the way the show is going to put them in here is not the only way a queer person can exist, and like to dream bigger. And like, yeah, so I've been a Brice fan forever.
Okay, I wasn't expecting to cry. Yes. So, Brooke, can you close us out, please?
I too think Brice is nothing but pure sunshine and goodness. Look at him cry. I can't even. Honestly, and this is like real. He's the most real person that I know. There you go. Fine. Thank you both so much for joining us. This has been a joy and a pleasure. You look like a bug, sir. It has been an honor and a joy.
Izzy, you have to eat me now. Okay.
Ew, with pleasure.
Oh my God. Okay.
I was like, that's fine.
Well, this has been your checkpoint with Paige and Izzy and Brooke. We'll be back next week covering Amazing Race season 38, episode 10. Thank you for watching. We love y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Hold on, I can't see
It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You better listen in public, might make your stomach hurt. Ooh. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to unwind, you better get that box wine. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to get your snack, you better hurry right back though. It's the Purple Pants. It's the Purple Pants.